Hello and welcome to PX3 Shower Thoughts episode 2. We're here with Harrison for
Yo,
the first time. Josh and Michael are still present.
Hello.
So we're going to lead off with probably the only exciting part of Yu-Gi-Oh! For this week, and that was the Worlds.
let's
Obviously,
go
we had
Worlds.
the...
YCS got announced.
Yeah, we'll
That's
get
pretty
to the
exciting.
YCS. So there were, I think this is the second year in a row because COVID, obviously, the second year in a row that we've had a world celebration where there's a bunch of TCG players in the top card, in fact, winning as well, which is a bit crazy considering OCG used to be dominant at Worlds. I believe Ubel won the main event, and
Ubel Fainsmith.
Yeah,
They
Ubel
did well.
won in every event. It won Master
Yeah.
Duel, it won Duel Links, it also won the main event. Like it was just like Dragon Link last year where it just won every single event in some form.
Yeah.
In fairness, in Master Duel, doesn't like 6 decks win? Don't they all have to play like a different deck or something?
Yeah. And Duel Links you get to choose like I think it's 5 if I'm not mistaken. You play like 5. You play like a best of 5 and you just change deck every single time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds like I suppose it'd be fun actually.
Yeah.
Notably, we also had the world celebration at locals, and a few of us did well. Ethan, Harrison, and Kalen.
I did hot garbage.
Did you guys do much testing about it, or was it just like a?
So like, yeah. So all the theory I did for Ubel before the announcement of Aerial Eater and Necroquip Princess, I just applied all that theory. Like I didn't really have to think that much. It was just like slap cards in my deck, go crazy. I wanted to try and play Dragon, but all the Bestials are at 1 because I want to use my OCG safe votes. So
I was offered to play in the format, basically just borrow whatever I needed, but I said that I did like 0 testing, so like there was like no point, right?
I kind of just like eyeballed a bunch of PK theory and kind of just like said fuck it. And obviously I played 60 cards, so it didn't work out very well for me.
60 cards before grass is legal.
Yeah, man. I've always fucked with 60 card decks. It's just fun.
Fair enough.
Did you build for any of my Jap cards?
I did actually. I couldn't find a rotor, so I just played one of your common ones. Common
I
Japanese.
could give you an ulti one. I have one like lying around on my desk.
Whatever. That's for later. And then I also played his ulti Boral Sword and ulti Appaloosa.
That's nice.
Too bad I never summoned the Boral Sword.
That's fine. Moral Sword's just a flex anyway. I'm not sure the card's been good for many years.
I think I prefer it in PK, but I think it's like this access code is better than everything else.
Oh yeah.
Does anyone have any thoughts about the world's list, or now that it's gone, not really much point, right?
Not really.
Yeah.
Can I just like say shout out to like the Duel Links, the Master Duel finals being the same 2 teams back to back?
This is Jesse Cotton and
It was Jesse Cotton and Josh Smith's team.
Yeah, so this time Cotton all that one, so maybe it's like the best of 3 next year. That'd be really insane to do. But also
right?
I believe it was Heroes Future was also present in the top 4 last year. So 3 out of the top 4 teams went again, which is really good. Like just shows like even though Master Duel might not be the most like seen as the most competitive, like seeing like 3 teams like do well back to back is really good to see, and says a lot about like the state of the game, as miserable as it may seem to some.
Yeah, I think the real big thing is the fact that they have the shared deck list, right? So like they can't play more. Like Maxi isn't at 3 copies in everyone's deck. You have to pick who has the 3 copies of Maxi, which is very interesting.
I don't think that's exactly true. I'm pretty sure they get to like have shared. They get like 3 cards they dominate. They can.
Right.
So each team.
I remember last year. I think Joshua Smith said that they did Ash, Maxi for obvious reasons, and then I think they said the last one was Tactics, so they just didn't have.
It was Tactics, yeah. This year, I believe Cotton won with Ash, Gamma, and Imperm, if I'm not mistaken. Sorry, no, Ash, theirs was Ash, Imperm, and Maxi. Then I believe Josh's team was Ash, Gamma, and Maxi. I could be incorrect on the last one, but I remember seeing a lot of teams like juggle between Imperm and Gamma as their like third shared card.
It's like surely it has to be like Ash Gamma, sorry, Ash Maxi every time, right? And then like the third one's just kind of whatever.
Yeah. Like it's very common, but like it depends on what decks you play. Like some people might play like they'll have someone who's playing like Tearlament and they might not play like the Ash Blossom, or they might choose to go for like Breakers as well. Like sometimes I'll elect different things, but Maxi and Ash are like pretty like unanimous as 2 or 3 along all the decks.
Yeah.
And then next year they have to deal with the Mulch Mummies.
Oh god.
That's assuming it comes out by that point. Like, I don't know if they've actually been announced when they get cards in Master Duel.
Well, I mean, it's a year, right? So surely they will release them.
It could be delayed. Like I know, like for example, Korea, they only got Phantom of Yubel like I think a month before Worlds, even though it'd been in the OCG for a while because it wasn't available in Korea. Like there's always like there's always like slightly. I care about it. I need a play over there. I need a test
but like,
over
but also like I know for example Master Duel they didn't get like Raging Phoenix for like a year or something like that.
Yeah, I mean
because I was gonna just build. I was gonna build Salad on there, and if it didn't have Raging Phoenix, I'm just like, fuck, what the hell do I do? Because Sunlight Wolf Pass just isn't good enough anymore.
I mean, Seal's Pass is still goated.
Seal's Pass is fine. Sunlight Wolf Pass isn't.
You need to get off that train eventually, bro.
He really does.
I did. I played Yubel for like last weekend. But yeah, no, we'll see. I'm very keen to like.
This is why we should have been in the last Shower Thoughts episode, because I think we trash talked Yubel for like 5 straight minutes.
We didn't trash talk Bell. I said that I'd prefer that if he was here to talk about it, but
no, I'm here, but that's fine. Yeah, like,
I genuinely can't remember that conversation, to be honest.
Yeah, it's kind of. I mean, like this one will probably just disappear over
It's only an hour and 19 minutes long.
We'll see how long this one ends up being. Either way, it shouldn't be too much like work to like frame everyone's webcams onto this new overlay. Please let us know your thoughts on. Please let us know your thoughts on this overlay. It's something we want to like test out and get the production better and better as we go. Obviously, like right now, some of our cameras and setups are a bit scuffed.
Hello.
Yeah.
Also, don't forget to list any questions that you might have for us to discuss. We're more than happy to discuss them.
Please,
as long as it's not about Ray.
What do you mean? I can sit here and talk about Skyscraper for a few minutes.
Hold up, I think I got the artbook right here with all the Ray art. It's pretty cool. Where is it? Yeah, that's on.
Alright, I guess this is the episode that we talk about Striker.
Yeah, this is a Striker episode.
Speaking of the YCS, we do. It sucks because we can't really start testing right now, because we don't have all the cards announced for the Shadows set, but they did announce today the Crystron cards. I'm not sure if you guys saw them or read them.
I skimmed them.
I have not read any of these. I want to live react to all these cards right now. As someone who used to like play Crystron back in the day, and it's been a wonderful Yasin player. I'd like to match out with it.
My general. My general understanding of them is that, like, although the level 2 is really good, I don't think it fixes the problems that Crystron has. Or looking at the format, from my understanding as at the moment, is that like you can play a combo deck and you can have these starters that let you do anything in the game, but that doesn't matter if your opponent has like Shifter or the Melch Mummies, right? Like it will probably still suffer the same problems that most combo decks have. It's like one of my issues with.
But what if, because of the Crystron support, they bring back Hulk?
So this something that stands out about like Crystron when you mention all the like Molchami and Maxi cards is, from memory, how it used to play is you'd summon them, then you'd pop them, and they'd summon something from deck, and then they wouldn't really like summon multiple times from hand unless they had the level 5 called Smygo, which was a like extender.
Yep.
There wasn't like they could do like one special summon from a deck to do their combo. So that's why I think it's still fine for the new Molchami. However, I need to read these cards. So there's
new
Chris.
mob is
Say,
from-
I was under the impression that
The
they
new-
did a bunch of synchro summoning on your opponent's turn. So
Yeah.
Well,
I guess you can
Well,
just drop
they
a burst and go in second, so it's like
they,
kind of
they're massed from deck, right?
Yeah, but you only need
yeah,
one
but if
to do
you
it.
but if like you go normal summon dude, you can't exactly melt from any of them.
Yeah,
When
'cause
the
you just
Crystal
need-
player trying to interact with you.
You just need like Christopher and
Read
like
the,
beats it.
read the new level 2 first.
No,
I guess
wanna read
Harrison
Christopher Impact.
Harrison can
Christopher
tell
on
us.
Impact.
Harrison can tell if it's good or not.
Christopher on Impact, man. This card art goes so hard. I love this card back in the yes. That's a smash.
Impact.
It's an older trap. It summons a banished one because I'm thinking the OG combo was like you'd go this burn, pop itself, summon Citri, this burn, banish itself, / impact, activate, do Citri, summon out the this turn, like Synchro 5, they use Impact to do another Synchro. I think Impact is a banish effect. So like I'm just thinking like that for one card combo. But let's look at this one. Crystron Tristalos. Like I hear that. I think Kit Coloss, I think the level 6 Vanadium card as well. I don't know what it's called. But
I just really went to Trishula, to be honest.
Oh, yo, that's what Yatin used to summon with Crystron. That's beautiful. Anyway, level 2 Machine Tuner, so that's normal. When your opponent activates a card effect, quick effect, summon one Crystron from your deck, and then immediately Synchro summon one Machine monster. Okay, it still does Machine Synchro, but this time you don't have to summon something from Banished or Graveyard, which is kind of cool. You can banish a card from your graveyard, destroy one Synchro monster you control, special summon 2 Crystron monsters from your deck, and you're locked into machines. Yo, this card just says summon 2 from deck. Does it destroy for cost? It doesn't destroy for cost. I think one of the Crystrons also floats from Bash when it's destroyed. Already I want to see what happens with like Gen X Undyne. Can I send this up Undyne and then summon out the... Or is it even Undyne? Maybe it's like Scrap Recycler do some stuff and get to this eventually and make a Synchro. And use like the
I mean, I was gonna say Recycler would make more sense, right? Because Recycler can then also do like the Scrap Wyvern shit and then destroy itself.
Yeah, but I think like Undyne sending for cost is pretty big, and I think isn't that Gen X Link kind of crazy? Like if you imperm it dies, but if they imperm that but not imperming your Crystron, right?
Yeah, but if they
Gen X.
imperm your Undyne, if you Crystron have a way to play after they get that like a normal summon imperm.
It lets you add a Gen X and then you can additional normal summon. But you're locked into Gen X Synchro. You can only Synchro summon with Gen X tuners, so...
Okay, that doesn't work then.
Yeah.
Okay, this card seems fine. Let's see what the other cards do. Crystron Self Blood Hole. This one's Self Ethnia, but like different. That's sick. Hand to graveyard, target Crystron you control, destroy it, then summon this card from hand. Yo, it doesn't have to discard. Oh, this feels so much better. Because I remember originally you'd have to like discard to summon the Self Ethnia, and Ethnia would pop itself and you'd like do the float. And you have to have it with another thing. So this already just been like a just summon, so this is the way you push for the imperm, I'm guessing. Normal special summon, you send up to 2 Crystron cards with different names from your deck to the graveyard. This card has to be good, right? Like Foolish Burial with 2 cards, all the Crystrons have bash effects, you can summon tokens, you can summon stuff from hand, you can search spells or traps, you can search monsters. There's gotta be something here, right?
I was gonna say, well, like immediately comes to my mind, like, this one's not a tuner, but like it goes to like send Rosenex.
Yeah.
Immediately 2 months on board.
Okay, so right now I'm thinking, like, what if I send, I think it's the Smyger is a monster searcher, and you send the turtle, the green one, which summons one from hand. So you search for new tuner, then you add then you summon it from hand. And do they have a level 8 synchro? Like, is there any level 7 machine synchros right now? That's what I want to check, because then you can make like a level 7 machine synchro, then pop it with those cards. Let's see.
Machine synchro.
I'm just looking at old ones. Dark Striker Fighter, Dawn Dragster, Gen X Triforce, none of these cards. Oh, Karakuri Shogun Beret. Oh my god.
Yo, Katakuri Crystrons.
Power Tool Dragon's kind of
So
sick.
Oh, now you
Yeah.
have my attention.
Yeah, but anyway, okay, this is getting interesting. Do we have a synchro? They do have a synchro, and it's level 7. Okay, we're cooking. If this card is, and it's generic, good. If this card's synchro sound, add 1 Christian card from graveyard or banishment to hand. Oh, okay, wait, maybe we can get crazy and like dump Self-Definite and then do some more extenders. Your opponent's monsters lose 500 attack and defense. If this synchro summon is destroyed with battle or card effects, you special summon 1 Crystron monster from your graveyard or banishment. Okay, we're getting somewhere. So we make a level 7 synchro off just that new level 5, the new Self-Definite resolving. Then we get to Foolish 2 we get to Foolish 2 more Crystrons, is it, with Tristalos? Yeah, no.
I'd like to point out, this level 7 can revive itself.
Yeah, yeah. Ooh, okay, so Tristalos can summon 2 from the deck. Then you float with the... We float with the guy that we just, like, summoned, and we also get to add one... Yeah, so add a Crystron from our banishment. This is kind of getting somewhere. I don't think it's very good, because this deck kind of dies to, like... If this deck's ever popular, it loses to Ogre, loses to Droplet, there's many ways to, like, beat it, so I don't think it's, like, ever going to be that insane, but it's really cool. I'd love to, like, explore this.
It has the same problems that every combo deck has.
Yep, but I still want to like mess around with it. What we got? Crystron Inclusion. Oh my god. You can activate... it's a continuous spell. It reminds me of that Deep Sea Trench I used to play. You can only activate 1 card of this effect's name per turn. You can use a 3rd effect once per turn. Effect 1, add a Crystron card from deck to hand. Wonderful. Oh, card, not even just like monster. That's cool with Search of Traps. The first type, each of your Crystron cards will be destroyed by battle. Each turn, it is not destroyed. Do I have to destroy to like do the effects? Because yeah, because like you max a card from graveyard, destroy 1 synchro monster you control, then special summon. It doesn't say and if you do. So I think that should be out here, right? Oh no, it needs to destroy 1 synchro monster. Ignore me.
That's why the other one can revive itself, right?
Yeah, you can bash this card from your graveyard, then target 1 Crystron monster in your graveyard, special summon it. Okay, surely there's a way we can pop this and we just get like a bunch of bodies, right? Oh, we pop it off Scrap Wyvern. Let's go.
I mean, Foolish Burial Goods?
Yeah, but that seems like mid. I want to be able to like have this on my field, then get the search, then find a way to pop it.
I mean, yeah, that's fine and all, but like you can also use like Foolish Burial Goods because your trap cards also do something in the graveyard, don't they?
Yeah, the trap cards I believe manipulate level, was it? It's been a while since I've read them.
It's time to bring back the Crystron Metal Foes.
Oh, Kalen would be excited for that. It negates targeting effects with impact in graveyard, and entry I think changes level, right? Yeah, entry changes level by banishing. Oh, entry is the one that summons 2 Crystrons, 1 from hand, 1 from graveyard. Okay, it looks like we're trying to set up entry. Entry is a really cool card. Because then they can get into, like, they try to go for Quandax, and Quandax is a generic synchro. Oh, they got, I also forgot about Corion Gondrax. That card is really cool. It's just Trishula, but, like, reverse. It's sick. And they've got the Phoenix. Okay, I'm getting excited. Anyway. Do we have any other cards? Cluster, the final one. Continuous Trap. Is this the final one, or else? Okay, it's the final one. Yes.
Pretty good.
1 Crystron cards you control cannot be banished by your opponent's card effects. That's kind of cool. You can target 1 face-up card in the field, or up to 2 if you control a Crystron Synchro monster. Shuffle 1 Crystron from your graveyard bash into the deck, except Crystron Cluster, and if you do, destroy the targeted card. Yo, wait, this is sick.
That's really good.
Yeah, this is Icarus attack. Okay, and then we get rewarded for playing like Phoenix and what's the other one? Corion Gondrax. Okay, already this is like looking kind of sick. Okay, I'm excited for these cards. Am I gonna play this at YCS? Probably not. I'd rather play like if I'm talking about like excitement factors, things that stand out to me is like the Blue Eye structure deck.
Yeah, which we don't know if it's being released before the YCS, right?
And also Magia reprint. I do not want to have to buy one of those.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah. So maybe we'll get reprinted.
The other cards that were announced, I believe it was yesterday or the day before, were the Speedroid cards.
Oh god.
Again, similar to Crystron, my first instinct is, unless these cards don't lock you, they're probably only good in Speedroids, and they do lock you. So, but they do set up an Omni off of Terratop alone, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Didn't it already do that with Oh no, it's only a monster negate I'm thinking of.
Yeah, so they got a Crystron Synchron, a Clearwing Synchro that is a actual Omni for anything.
Yeah.
But it requires to be 2 tuners and a non-tuner Clearwing card, I believe. But you can make that easily because one of their new pendulums just summons 1 from the extra deck for free. It's like pretty good, but it's like, again, you're locked into wins for the rest of the game. So.
Oh, rest of the game, or even the rest of the turn. That seems really
the
like
rest of the turn.
Okay.
But that is the rest of the game if you're playing, right?
That seems very average without Baron as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, we suffer, right? That's the.
Yeah. That being said, I would appreciate if someone can figure out a combo right now, so I can go through my bulk and sell all these cards. I need to fund my YCS strip somehow, Anyone got any thoughts?
Both funding.
And every Terratop combo resolved in BA cards being played. So
True, every Terratop
Terratop's a
combo.
nice extender.
Yeah,
Shut
Terratop
up,
combo
shut
gets
up.
you Cherubini, which gets you into Rite of Aramesia, which is an Omni Negate. Therefore, it is Omni Negate. And it doesn't lock you.
I mean-
just
before the ban list, Terratop was a turn skip.
I mean, to be fair, Terratop does make La Virtue Dragon for free, so
hmm. Oh, there's also one other archetype. The Arg. It looks like a cross. So Arg. Oh, the star. Argsters. Whatever it is.
which ones?
Arg is ARG star S. It's like the Space Girls. It looks like. I don't know. I'm gonna read through these cards right now. So ARGS Adra the Laurels, or maybe if it's Laurels, it's probably some sort of like Roman reference, right? During your opponent's turn, if you control continuous trap, it's a continuous trap cards. You can bash this card from your hand, change one
the
face up one.
Eldritch stack, okay.
Okay. Do I read these cards or nah?
I haven't, but that's because YCS wasn't released yet, so...
Okay, I guess I shall read these out loud. During your opponent's turn, if you control continuous trap, you can bash this card from your hand, change the attack of one face-up monster in the field to 0 until the end of a turn. If this card is normal summoned, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to the activation of your continuous traps and their effects for the rest of the turn. Okay, that. You can match this card you control. Place up to 2 ARGS continuous traps with different names from your hand and or deck face up in your spell and trap zones. Okay. That's what's and then your opponent can't like interact with their effects as well. So I assume like one
which is
continuous
nice.
traps is going to search something.
That was- Yeah, I was just thinking to myself, like, God, that sounds horrible. Like, I have to wait a whole turn before I can normal summon this card and it being useful, but
Yeah.
continue.
Okay, we have Home Stadium, which is a field spell. You can pay 1,000 life points, add 1 ARGS card from your graveyard or banishment to your hand. Oh no. And the other warriors, I was going to say, is it like a psychic deck? I see pay life points. Can I e-tell you this? It's a level 4 Earth Warrior. MX Saber Invoker, you can summon that with Terratop. We're getting somewhere.
It all comes back, boys.
Yep. Each time a continuous trap is special summoned from the spell and trap zone to your field, inflict 500 damage. Wonderful. Once per chain, if your continuous trap card activates its effect in the monster zone while you have a banished ARGS monster, you can target one face-up card your opponent controls, negate its effects until the end of turn. Okay, so this is kind of like the field spell for the Rizal deck. Like it just has like a built-in negate, has some recursion. I assume it's somewhere just
so-
treacherous.
I
And it
just had a
has to
quick-
be good, right? Because it's a trap deck.
I just had a quick read over the cards. They're like, okay, all the traps, so there's 3 of them.
Oh wait,
all
you
the
don't get up to
traps
trap right now.
I just skip the traps. The traps are like not that interesting. There's one that gives everything 500 attack and defense. There's one that
Yep.
prevents all of them from being destroyed by battle. There's one that prevents all by card effect. You can discard a card, or no, actually, sorry. One's when your opponent activates a card or effect. One's if there's a continuous trap in your monster zone, and the others discard a card, and they summon themselves as level 4s. 2k, 2k, 18, 18, and 8, 8. And then they get an effect when they're summoned. So you can return a card on the field to the hand. That's okay. If you have a banished ARGS monster, you gain 500
Wait.
life.
Wait,
And then the last one adds an ARG.
The field spell.
And
The field spell isn't once
Yeah.
per turn to negate. It's once per chain.
oh, that's not bad.
So we
Activates effects in the monster zone's a bit icky because you obviously have the rotor, you have the one that bounces, but the other one like just gains 500 if you already open the level 2. It's level 2, right? Level 4. And then the other effect, which is probably where you're going to get the negate most often, is that all the traps have the same effect of just putting themselves back in the spell and trap card zone, which is cool. Means that you have walking imperms, but at the same
Yeah.
time, the issue is that like if the field spell's outed, the only interaction you have is a bounce, and it just gets like really worse from there, right? Like
You also like it doesn't look like you can get to the field spell and the add draw of like one card. It seems like you have to draw these cards together, which has issues because like these cards like look like they suck about field spell, and field spell looks like it's mediocre
Yeah.
without the.
If field spell added from
Yeah.
deck to hand, it would be a lot better. But currently, from what I'm seeing here, the biggest issue is that, like, yeah, you need to pair these, because if you open the level 4 by itself, it's gonna set up 2 traps, and the best you've got is a search and a pop.
So it just sounds like if you just gotta play a trap deck. You just
Never mind,
play
the
over,
field
like,
spell is
elaborate-
searchable.
Oh wait, which one searches the field spell?
bad.
Sorry.
So the level 4 can banish itself. It can put the Shida no tile, and obviously the one that bounces, the wind one, the green one, into your spell and trap. So the first one searches for any ARGS cards, and it summons itself by discarding a card.
Oh, what's so back?
You can summon it, and then you can search field spell. It's still a trap deck, and unfortunately, it doesn't look also. It's cool, it's interesting, but
Yeah.
I don't think it's top tier worthy.
I was just thinking,
It's
like
something
this.
I could fuck around with paleos
Yeah.
with, but it sounds
Yeah.
like the current paleo deck just sounds better.
You could probably play, like you said earlier, Labyrinth, or you could just make it into like a super stun deck.
Yeah. Like I was thinking, like maybe something with the Silhouette Rabbit as well, because like that like sets you back as rune, and then when you summon these cards, you're also going to get MSTs, so you've got like a bit more interaction from that. But at that point, the rabbit by itself already functions buyback. You don't need these cards to support it, so it's kind of like doesn't feel needed. Actually, wait,
at
the
the
rabbit.
moment,
What does the rabbit do? It has like another effect, right?
Silhouette Rabbit.
I've
Silhouette
literally never
hair. I
read this
think
card before.
my
You can set a continuous track from your deck that has the effect to special summon itself as a monster. If this card's if a card in the spell and trap card zone is summoned to the monster zone, you can pop a back row. And
I thought it's some
this
like
can't
way to protect.
die.
Yeah. I thought it's some way of like protecting itself from battle. Protecting the
yeah.
traps.
Oh no, it protects itself.
Yeah.
So like if you could make this after normal summoning and banishing a card, then like it's pretty good. But like
because like the field spell adds from graveyard, was it as well?
Graveyard or banished, yeah.
Yeah, so you can like you summon the one that searches a field spell, then you link the field once you just summoned plus the monster into Silhouette Rabbit set from deck, then you field spell add that, so you get like more interaction. Okay, we're getting somewhere.
Yeah, so the biggest issue that I see here is now, instead of it being that you need to pair a monster with the field spell, you need to have monster, because if you have the trap that searches, you're not getting anywhere turn 1, right? You're just going to set 3 cards past a turn, and hopefully you survive. Best outcome, 2 of your traps are interaction, and hopefully the opponent can't push through 2 interaction and maybe a hand trap, right? So
it feels like turbulence. Like you just need that card to resolve, and then you have like an engine. So maybe this card becomes very like this deck is like fine in like a max C format because it like has like ways of actually even then you're going to special summon a couple times and they can just chain it to a special summon.
Yeah, so it does get around the mulch mummies, which is very nice. But one issue that I will note is that the level 4 doesn't get around like Imperm Valar. It gets around Ash, which is nice, but like I'm mainly looking for decks that can get around the mulch mummies and Shifter, and this engine does do it, but it's also like fairly slow.
Oh wait, graveyard or banishment Shifter deck. We're actually getting somewhere.
Yeah, so it seems like a good Shifter deck, but in a format where like there are a few good Shifter decks, like we still have Tempai, we have Rizal coming out, we have there's that build a pack deck that like is based around banish cards. Yeah, I read them once. That's all the extent that I've done at the moment. So that is an issue. So I guess the next topic is the YCS being announced in February. There are so many potential decks that haven't been looked at much. There's like I think they're all level 9 cards that comes out of the next set. There's obviously the usual format favorites at the moment, like Snake Eyes, Fiendsmith, Yubel. Are you guys excited to begin testing anything?
I mean,
at
moment.
This point, so you go, Nitro?
Yeah, so I mean, for me, like, we get Supreme Darkness, like OCD gets Supreme Darkness. I think like end of October. I arrive in Korea for like 2 months. At the end of November, that's probably where I'll start like doing a lot more of my testing because I can get I can start testing with people who've already started playing the format, learn from them, then start applying that with like you guys and build up that like information a bit faster. So like I think like that would be. I'm kind of looking forward to it. Should be fun. Like just gives me
What
something.
about you? What about you, Michael?
Well, like I'm keen for the YCS, but the problem is like we can't get really too far ahead of ourselves because we're probably gonna get a ban list before then. We have 2 new sets and like a bunch of other shit released before then. I don't think we need to. I don't think it's necessarily time to jump the gun and start like okay, what are we gonna play? Blah blah
I
blah
agree.
blah. I think it's just like we just sit back and just wait for a little bit, I guess.
Josh, do you have any decks you wish to play that look fun?
I'll probably just keep playing Snake Eye Inferno until like the format defines itself. Funnily enough, I think that like that variant of the deck actually has just good matchups across the board. So like, I've always wanted to finally have an excuse to play Infernoids at a YCS level event. So we might get there, we might not. We'll see.
So you guys basically surmised my my thing is that we're a bit too far away from YCS at the moment to start planning out what deck to play. Especially with the ban list, that there's too many unknowns, but generally ban lists don't change much in terms of the new product being released, so Konami trying to push new decks. One concern I've already highlighted already is that there are just a bunch of potential shifter decks, but I think the main concern that I have at the moment is that the format looks like it's going to be open. It's going to be like any deck can do well, and that makes things a little bit difficult.
I've always enjoyed different formats more than like singular defined like one deck format.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah, I don't think I disagree that it's going to be like a very open format, like especially since like we haven't seen the impact of Supreme Darkness, but looking at the impact of the deck builder pack, we saw like Rizal completely like take over meta already, and that's with like Snake Eye and Azima still being like powerful, playable. Like I think like the format will like change, like well it will solidify itself around like a couple decks, but I don't think it's going to be like that open, because I think like even if Rizal is the most played deck, that deck has like issues, like it loses to like mind control. You mind control, you take I think change of heart. Like, so change of heart, you take the guy, you swing, you make Zeus, you just clear the whole board. Because that deck plays through hand traps like really nicely because of like Rafflesia. You can just like send Grave Diggers to negate like monster hand traps, and if they try and imperm your guy that searches a field spell, you chain Rafflesia, send the Rizal something whole, and then you can chain when you bash a trap from your graveyard in the same chain to rank up your Rizal Xyz into a different guy, so you dodge the imperm. Like it just seems like it seems very good into hand traps, but like breakers just kill that deck. And looking at it, you can also just like immediately imperm the field spell searcher, and then they like kind of block dodge a bit anyway.
Yes.
I haven't looked too much into what's happening with that deck at the moment. I saw like it got really popular at first release, but then people were just like, is it popular because it's good, or is it popular because it's not Snake Eyes?
There was a recent tournament by Next Play that was run, and I think it got like 5 out of the top 8 slots, and I think the last 2 were like Snake Eye. There's some Snake Eye, and there's like one other deck as well. Like it seems like pretty like dominant already.
Yeah, my biggest issue with this deck is, well, like it looks fun at least, which is nice. My biggest issue with the deck is that like it's another shifter deck, which is fine, but it's like if that's going to be the best deck, I'm gonna have a few issues with opening shifter against the mirror, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. If that's always been the thing. If the shifter deck is the best deck, it's probably not going to be a shifter deck.
And like breakers are
Like,
going to be very popular into it.
Yeah, if I'm walking into a room and thinking to myself, yeah, my deck can play shifter, I'm totally gonna main deck this for the mirror match. Like that's not something that you should ever be thinking.
One thing that I did like about the deck is that it doesn't seem to lose automatically to the Melch Mummies, which is nice. So because they I think it's the fires the pyros summon themselves from hand, and then they summon one from deck or search one. I can't remember.
Yeah, so there's one that summons from deck, one that summons from graveyard, and 2 that search on play. The 2 that search on play, the Thunder searches a pyro, the pyro searches the Thunders, and then you can go there. I believe it's the Thunder is Exo. Exo is the one that just summons one from deck. You'd usually summon out the Bode. Bode searches the other Thunder, which I believe is it Ice? I think it's Ice. Then you overlay those two into Refleja. You summon and you can then special summon like Ice. Search your card. Search for one that's like the Blizzard Far North, and then you can sort of like just go from there. Like the deck has like definitely has like ways to play it now. I think the cool thing about it is I think it's Ice can just let me check. I got written down. Normal summon Ice can like let you make a Zeus clear their board without locking yourself, and then you can main phase 2 start playing, which I think is very valuable for a deck. That's why I like the Unchained deck with the Dark Contracts.
So sorry, just to cut you off slowly. One thing that I do notice about this deck is that it has the same philosophy as like a Salaman Great deck from like 2019. These like types of mid-rangey type decks that isn't like Dragon Link mid-range, right? Where like it can't just kill out of nowhere. I'm sure that there's kill lines, but from what I can see, this deck feels more like a control deck than anything else.
Also, going back to the Molchummy lines, I saw using the 7th Tachyon, there were actually some decks were searching out Protector of the Sanctuary. So you just summon that, and then your opponent will draw cards, and the only draw card you really have is a field spell, and Desires if you play that, so you can just lead with Desires, and field spell draw missing out on is whatever, but it means like your opponent doesn't get the draws of the Molchummies, which is really cool. So maybe Protector of the Sanctuary buyout coming. I think it's only got like 1 or 2 printings, so that's really funny.
Yeah, don't you all talk at once?
Well, look, I have to preface this. I think we all know I don't learn cards this way. I haven't really been paying attention to a lot of like the words that are being said.
That's fine.
I like to like see what's in front of me when I test. So like, I'm not going to retain any information about new cards until I actually can see them in my hands. And I tend to learn my best when I see cards for the first time, like across from me at the table. I don't know why. I might be a bit of a sicko, but I just enjoy like the challenge, taking my deck to verse something that I've never versed before, just to see what happens. You know.
Yeah. So we'll probably, because right now what I'm building is the Raziel deck while we're discussing, just so I have it on DB.
The Raziel deck is the deck that Kalen was harping on about for a while. The one that like is he just called it. All he told me about the deck was it was the level 4 toolbox.
Yeah, basically.
Fair enough.
Yeah, from my understanding and from what I can read here, it seems to be like a Salaman Great type deck where it's like not it doesn't have a very high ceiling, but it can still output some pretty good stuff.
Yeah, like the end board is very strong. Like off its 1 or 2 card combos, like I think it's a 2 card combo. It ends on a Refleja. It starts with Refleja to protect you from hand traps, and then okay.
Michael died.
I don't know what happened there. Give me a sec.
Oh good. But
I got a Discord notification. That's about it.
Yeah. So you can make Refleja before you start playing. Then you end on a field spell, which is like a mid chain link monster negate by detaching its material from Rizal. So it's basically a Biscale of Mizuchi for monster effects. Then it also has like, it means like you have I think you also have a once per chain pop with the Xyz. I don't know how materials you have to detach. So it sort of like has like a monster negate, a draw, and some like pops. But because of that, it's just very vulnerable to like breakers because we have no way to like have any like omni negates to protect its board.
Yep.
This sounds like a deck that would lose to Infernoid. Yes.
So there's a bunch of cards you can DD Grey versus the deck. So that's it.
I'm just gonna drop nukes and then rekindling for 4.
That's nice.
Well, since we have discussed as much as we need to about the YCS, do you guys want to talk about anything else that's interesting or /funny /cool?
I mean, I don't know. Harrison, Bell sucks.
Yeah. I
Yeah, we
mean,
can talk about current from that.
we can talk about current. I think yugioh is still like that's obviously insane. You can still do like a lot of the combos that already existed, ending on like an Omni negate, one of the like phantoms for rage, and some extra stuff. Like even with one card, like the Beatrice ban, like the Beatrice and the Lacrimo were the ideal ways because they conserve the most resources and be the best for your hand traps. But Aerial Eater and Necroquip are still fine, and Necroquip is like lines are slightly better because you get a free draw in your combos, and it means that you get to play like more starters, like your Lurry, your Track do things, which in a non-Necroquip version they didn't do. But yeah, overall, like the format's very much like the same. We get Rage of Abyss, Snake Eye becomes best deck again. It's like not great, but we'll see what happens. Maybe get a TCG exclusive. Maybe the new Red Eyes stuff in Rage of Abyss is insane. I'm hoping it is. I really want to play that deck. We'll see.
Just give us an insane Momel exclusive, and we'll be
Oh,
ready.
please. That's all I'm asking for. I just
What is
look,
what does Momo need?
just give Momels a hand trap. Just straight up, just give him a hand trap, and I
You have
think that would be
Dogwood.
very scared.
You can
No,
search
no, no,
Dogwood.
I'm talking. So, the best Mermail hand trap at the moment is a card called Dragon Ice. It's a level 5 water.
Yo, you can only control one.
So it's the best water hand trap at the moment that you can play, and it's
Yeah.
not great because it needs to be paired. I said to Michael, funnily enough, the best hand trap is just a card that says on the opponent's turn, discard it, dump a water, and then it's the best card in the game. That's all it just needs to do.
So it's just the Havness.
Well, except for milling, it's like just auto dump
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
But like, I wouldn't mind a Havness, right? But it's like,
Hmm.
Momels unfortunately have the same issue that I said at the start with like all the combo decks. It's like going first being able.
I'm sorry, I can't get. Every time I see Harrison drink from his coffee cup, it's just the cutest fucking thing I've ever seen.
It's my matcha.
I already said this in the deck profile and the combo video, but the fact that the deck has Minstrel, which is like one of the only times I've seen a combo deck other than Goki, have a card that says start your turn, or start your combo off, but look at your opponent's hand first and just remove a card. That's obviously insane to me, but again, the deck is like, it has issues. Same with like most things at the moment that I've seen. Like if the YCS was earlier, I would probably be playing Ubel, or I'd be playing Finsmith Snake Eyes because those are just probably much better decks, but we're so far in the future that it just doesn't matter.
What do we think about the February March YCS now? I was kind of looking forward to it being in January, to be quite honest.
I would
I'm
be
glad
stuck
it's
overseas, so I'm very happy it's now.
I'm happy it's pushed back because One Piece Nats is in January. So
Ooh.
When we I think the only thing that would matter to me is my own personal bias, which I think work, but it depends. Because like if work was on the Christmas holidays for the YCS, it would be much better for me, but I don't really mind depending when the YCS is.
As long as you can stick around for the dinner this time.
Yeah, I've asked for, well, I'm hoping to take 5 days off basically.
Yeah, when do we want to like try and get there? Like, we think how early do we want to try? Because like last time I came the day before, I was absolutely like destroyed. So I want to get there a little bit earlier this time.
I yelled at you for a while, man.
Usually
Usually
we do
this time I'll be
Wednesday to
more free.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Usually we do Wednesday to Wednesday. That's usually it. It helps that there's a public holiday the Monday after for us. But
Okay.
yeah, usually we do Wednesday to Wednesday. So that's what I've booked off.
The play we usually go with is the Tuesday Red Eye, right? So we leave Tuesday night, get there Wednesday morning, and then you basically have all of Wednesday to like veg out or do whatever you want. And then usually there's locals Wednesday night, Thursday night that you can attend. Then Friday free ready. Saturday night. By the time you get to Friday, you're level-headed, right as rain, and should have enough testing in. Hopefully they don't make us submit our fucking lists at 7 o'clock this time. My god. Damn near had a panic attack last time.
I'll probably do that again, to be honest.
Yeah, well,
Make
Shut
it
up.
something like midnight. Make it like midnight or something. Why is it? Said 7 o'clock is just such a
Bro,
whack ass.
Give us the One Piece streaming where I can submit it at like 8 a.m. the day of. That was beautiful.
I want an hour before the event starts. I don't care if they don't have their list in. Game 1 loss, not my problem. Like I don't care. Like I want the time. Bring me back to the days where we used to stay up at midnight, 1 a.m. like before Sunday morning. And
Well,
like,
now we just do that.
Context.
Now we just do that the Thursday right before. Like we just
Now
move
it's
everything a day before.
Like we have to like all scramble to finalize our lists, and then have to sit on them all night Friday night. Stupid.
I mean, it means I get to sleep well Friday night, so I kind of like that.
Bold of you to assume we sleep well.
I like to.
Yeah.
Sleep is for the weak, and that's me, for real, for real.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
weak.
Yeah, it's interesting because this is how many months until YCS? It's like 4 or 5 months, right? No, it's longer, right?
It's literally like 5 months. What
Yeah,
about September
4.5.
now? Yeah.
Yeah, 4 and a
4.5.
half, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, makes
The
sense.
world, all days blend into the other. I don't know what day it is today.
Because I don't think I'm going to start testing until probably the Christmas break is probably when I'm going to start
Yeah.
testing because I'll have the most free time.
Yeah, no,
But,
it'll be early December for me.
Yeah.
I think
Well,
we like
I'm
once
gonna
we.
take Christmas off this year, so if you want a boot camp and we know the format, you let me know.
Yeah,
yes,
that's the one issue is
Fly me over, please. I beg.
the format, right? Because like at the
Well,
moment,
So by the time Christmas comes, we'll have seen the set release at the OCG, so we'll know what's coming.
well, yeah. So we'll
Mine it's TCG exclusives.
probably
Yeah.
over the week or two, we're going to get the rest of the shadow cards. So we're going to know what's in that set. But
When does that come out in Japan?
it comes out in October, I'm pretty sure. So
End of October.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so they're 3 months ahead of us, so it'll come out in October. But from what I've seen so far, I'm not impressed. Like, I think that nothing changes so far, but who knows? Maybe they'll release a Melch Mummy that says anytime a card's sent to the graveyard, you get to draw a card. Like, we just don't know. It's probably just going to be the boring. If it's from banished or graveyard, draw a card. In that case, the card doesn't change anything fundamentally, unlike the Wind Mulch, right, where that changes things fundamentally. But because we have the experience with Maxi, I don't think we need to test much with this, right? Like, we inherently understand Maxi from playing with it. So
We basically just have to like learn specific lines to play through specific ones, I think.
yeah, that's probably gonna be the most annoying part, is just figuring out dealing with the hand traps and interactions, and then all the decks. Because I don't think it's going to be like Rizio, Snake Eyes, Tempire, because surely something will change over the next 6 months. Like, I have a feeling that next ban list, which will probably be December, January, it's going to be the murder list where they do finally deal with these decks, and we have to play with the new cards. In which case, the format changes completely.
Yeah.
Like,
They said the ban list wouldn't come for another several months or something like that, right?
yeah, whenever we release it, yeah.
When does so Supreme Darkness is the name of the set, not Shadows.
Comes out in January.
January for us? Okay, wonderful. I was about to ask, like, when is
December, January? Yeah, January.
Yeah, because I know, like, I was worried, like, it might come out, like, a little bit, like, closer to the event, because I remember, Phantom Nightmare was, like, was Phantom Nightmare like February, or was it also January?
I can't tell you.
Because I remember, like,
Is Phantom Nightmare that was the Poplar set, right?
that was a Poplar Princess set.
That was late January.
Yeah, okay. I mean, either way, I'm just gonna save my
so
store cred up and then just, like, get Yol to get me boxes so I have access to the cards when it comes out.
Nothing will ever be as bad as Bosch.
Bosh.
Bro, tell me about Bosch. That
Bosch.
was literally the year I started, so I know nothing about that time.
We blew about $3,000 on cases to then have the cards immediately die like a week after the.
You remember when Bosch was legal, right, Nishal?
That's literally the weekend that started. I played one local.
Bosch
At
was
one
legal,
local event.
like
Yeah.
the Friday before YCS is
Yeah.
when the day it was legal.
Yeah.
So everybody tried to rush to get a cases. I think we got 3
Yeah,
cases.
so
right?
I got a case and a half, and then you, Josh, and Adrian got half a case each.
It was
I got
Damn.
I got 3 pencil for in 6 boxes.
yeah. It was
That's
a crazy time.
that's good though, right? All things considered, like 3 pencil in 6 boxes.
Yeah, that
It
was
was a
just
sign
like,
from God. It was a sign
like-
from God.
Yeah.
and yet you still tried to play Mermail for that event.
I tried.
Yeah.
That's a YCS Yahweh one, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
He knocked me in the top 16.
Oh, have to. Wait, did you top it, Josh?
Yeah, Josh. That was
Yeah.
Josh's
Bro,
first
I-
stop.
Yeah,
I don't know any
this
of
guy
this lore.
like, he spent like the month or something like that testing Mermails, and then we get there, he builds the deck, and then I fucking flat 10-0 him with Pendulum, and he's like, "Fuck it, I'm not playing this deck anymore."
Isn't that like the
I lost
opposite of like
10.
Kosk? He like
Huh?
isn't that the opposite of Kosk? Like didn't he test like the other decks and then just last minute just go back to MML? Or am I tripping? Was that the in-off one?
I can't remember.
Like I said, Michael beat me in 10 straight games. I was playing Water and he was playing Pendulum. 10 straight. I then spent 4 hours, I think, over 3 different good games looking for Last Pendulums. And then I played Pendulum. I placed 32nd and had to verse off against the first place Cosmo player who went 10-0. And I beat him.
Let's go.
It was my first loss.
Yeah.
Then Yahweh
that's it.
destroyed the bag.
Yeah, I was just thinking, like, I got, like, before the YCS I topped, I remember getting, like, 10-0'd by River after getting off my plane, testing Pendulum, and, I don't know if I play this deck, but I just doubled down and played it, had the opposite outcome. So it's like, it's pretty funny.
Have you ever, like, proper boot camp with us?
I don't think I ever have, just because, like, schedules have been, like, rough. The times we've had times for boot camp have conflicted with, like, uni for me. Yeah.
Fine. I hope you're ready for the Thunderdome. Because, like, if we... What, River? What's all that?
Bro, the
The
Thunderdome's gonna...
the Thunderdome is River testing everything so that he knows what's going on, and then Josh versing him. That's the Thunderdome.
Wonderful.
Hey, look, man. Get caught
Yeah.
between me and River.
I will,
Yeah, same.
yeah, I'll definitely be hitting you guys up to, like, test, like, while I'm overseas, like, doing that stuff from, like, it'll have to be a lot of DB, obviously, because I won't be here. But I'll be down.
Yeah.
If not, I'll just, like, bully a bunch of Koreans.
We're just gonna win every Korean event, because you gotta remember OCG is free.
Yeah, I mean, I found out, like, I've already
Like,
found, like, a list of events, like, to play while I'm over there. I found, like, the locals I want to go to already. I've already, like, talked to some players there, so it should be good.
TCG cards are legal in OCG, right?
No, they're not.
That's-
So you can't use
yeah.
them at official events, but you can use them for like locals. Like I can't use them at like I think it's like YOC is what they're called to for their like regional events. But like there's less regional events in there anyway, so it's like fine. I can just like because I'm probably just gonna bring Dragon Link with me and just test over there and just buy like cheap OCG cards to test. And
So
I'll just
obviously
get
we
your
have
buying
the-
cards.
So obviously we have the Feroz coming out next set, which probably is one of the single cards changing the entire format. Am I the only one that has issues with just the line that you can activate multiples of these? Am I the only one that has? Like, that's just the one
So like
main thing.
whenever someone has activated multiple of these cards versus me, I just like, okay, I'm hella laggy, so I have to fix this up. Like, if they activate 2 in draw phase, I'm just passing it like double hand trap, and I'm probably living, right?
So the issue is that this one. So I had this discussion with Yatin where he said, "Oh, it's like the blue one where you just activate and draw face standby." There is no reason to use this card draw face standby. There is just no reason. You may as well just because like even if the opponent has thrust, doesn't get much value. If they have talents, you're drawing cards anyway, so your hand's like refreshing even if they put cards back. So like with green, it is always just correct to just hold it and then like drop it when it's just going to be an upstart goblin, say it's similar to Maxi, right? So because you can activate multiples of them, the biggest issue is like something like Ash Blossom, something like Colby, something like Crossout isn't a guaranteed stoppage of this card if they open 2, right? That's like, yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
guess-
still have flashbacks to like the one time I tested in this format with River, and like, a straight up girl, like he goes drops one, and I think I had like a Colby or an Ash or something. He just drops another one,
Yeah,
and so
Ash,
you're
yeah.
like, fuck.
Yeah, and when you activated the Ash on it, and I dropped the second one, I knew that was game over. Like, as soon as you dropped the Ash, I knew it was game over. because there's like no way you can just push through this card, and there's no way you can just pass to me because I'm drawing a card anyway, so I'm refreshing that card, so I've got 4 cards in hand, and you've just burnt one of your only interruptions on me if you did pass turn, which was the Ash Blossom. So unless you open multiples of that, yeah.
Also, I was playing sprites, so
Yeah.
I was waiting to get my shit kicked in.
We also get a new
Yes.
Dominus card as well in Rage of Abyss, right? The one that's like
The Dominus card is pretty cool. It's it negates anything that would summon.
It
which
kills
is
you, Bell.
nice.
Like you hit the Lotus, you just win the game. It's insane.
Yeah, but then what does that lock you out of? Is it?
It locks you out of wind, fire,
And light.
wind, light, and earth. Sorry.
So those are the only ones you can use, or the only ones you can't use?
You can't use. So it's good in Mermail. It's not good in
Vampire.
It's not good in the other deck. The only issue with this being that if you're locked out of winds, it means you can't use Feroce, but you're probably using Feroce before you use this anyway. So it's a pretty good card.
How do we feel about this approach to like stronger hand traps? Like obviously we had that in the past Imperm, but now we're getting like new ones which obviously have a lot stronger effects, and they have like the like issue where like if you do something you are locked out of the game. How do we feel about that?
I think it's interesting. Like it brings on a new nuance to deck building. Like for example, like we got like a bunch of like staple cards. For example, like Veiler, Ash Blossom, all these cards. These are basically just staple cards at this point. So I think like having this card, like cool, this card is really strong, but by playing this, you cannot play X card. I think it's like it brings like a nuance and like a new thing to think about when deck building, which I'm always a fan of.
Yeah, like the Raziel cards are light, fire, and they obviously can't use both of the Dominus cards, which is sort of a big thing. Josh, you were going to say something earlier. What were you going to say?
No, you're all good.
Okay. Just interrupt us.
I was just going to... It wasn't relevant. It's all good.
What do you mean? Just shower
You're not
we talk about anything.
I was going to quickly turn my cam on and off, see if that fixes it.
Well, that's actually what I was going to say. I said I'm really loving the Harrison Nishaw slideshow of like all of his cute faces.
Bro, I know what's happening. Like I have my normal cam is bugging right now, so I'm using my phone and it's got this like input lag, which is annoying. But I think it's happening because I'm recording, but it's fine.
Yeah,
It's
only
my phone's based.
Yeah, but you're not recording, Josh. So.
Yeah, well, I don't know how to, so shut up.
That's fine.
There's a reason why we don't get you to do things.
That's exactly right. This is why I don't this is why I don't pay attention to shit. I'm just exist. You know.
That's fair.
So it's been a week. It's been over a week since the ban list. Now I know that you two, Michael and Josh, haven't played much Yu-Gi-Oh. But do you guys have any changing thoughts on any of the changes? Like me personally, I think the prosperity to 1 hit is actually a lot better the longer I think about it, because it means that it makes these like decks like Ritual Beasts or Tempai, especially with the 1 field spell, a little bit worse now that it's at 1.
Any hit to blue is a good hit, so I'm happy.
That's true.
Based opinion.
Fuck
Based opinion.
Fuck Blue, fuck anybody who likes that deck.
If only they could ban the other problematic card.
We take what we get.
Yeah, like at this point,
One
like,
day they'll ban
I've never
Flambeau Dragon.
liked Drifter.
Again, another Flamberge banner. It's not the problem, bro. Flamberge is fine.
What card would you have banned from Snake Eye then?
Princess.
Yo, I would love
Princess.
Princess. This shows I wasn't there for the discussion and didn't watch it. No, I would love Princess to be banned, but I don't think they will because they did so much marketing with Princess for Master Duel.
But it's so busted.
Princess
is crazy.
But like, I think the reason why Flamberge is good is because Princess exists. Like I think that like if Princess either just goes away or you know, I don't know, they made it 10 times worse. It's like that Flamberge just becomes more balanced. Like I think it's fine. You know, like
It is something
Flamberge
I've
as a card in that deck I like, and I think it's well designed. It's only abusable because you can apply. Not only can you apply the effect by putting it back on the board of like summoning a card on your opponent's turn, you can apply the effect of float in the same turn. Whereas if you remove Princess from the equation, you have to choose. Which just like if you have to choose, the card becomes 10 times more balanced.
You know what's
I
going to
mean,
happen?
you're just thinking off of IP, right? So you're still getting the float no matter what.
Do you know what's going to happen?
Yeah, well, no. If you link it off, it goes to the graveyard. You don't princess it back, so you don't keep it on the board.
Oh, you're
Appointed
talking about that part. Yeah.
Yeah. So like you can still obviously like there are still lines where you can like spell trap the IP and then like say summon it with the field spell, but then like the problem wasn't the field spell summoning cards. The problem was having Flamberge and the field spell on the board and being able to out every quick play spell and trap negation. So like it Princess out of that equation like makes all of the spell like quick play spell trap card removal like good against the deck because it becomes Temple Turbo. If they decide to float, the best play is to leave the Flamberge on the board and get both. But if you do that, you don't get to float two monsters. So it's like I said, it just becomes much more balanced.
So this is where the crazy like here's what they do in December is you see Princess get banned. They don't change anything else about Snake Eyes, and like I actually think that that'd be crazy because like it means that we still have like Snake Eyes Ash Poplar for like a mini engine if we can like get it into something, but like Princess being gone is probably a big enough deal to make that deck like more manageable, right?
Big Princess with an X through it. And then ban like 15 cards just
Well,
watch
like,
the format explode.
Princess reads like a card that should be banned, right? Like instead like literally the only thing that changes and this card becomes like uber busted, like it should be already on the ban list, is like instead of summoning from graveyard, it summons from deck, right? If that was the only change, this card would be an no question, this card should just be banned because like
Bro, Needle Fiber, eat your heart out.
yeah, like most of the cards from the extra deck that are banned are problematic are like someone from the extra deck or flood the opponent out, and Princess is like neither of these, but it's also both at the same time. Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know what we're going to talk about now. So somebody else make things because I'm.
Is there anything else we want to go over? We're hitting the 1 hour mark already.
Jokes on you. We haven't even started talking about the past. That's the best part of Shower Thoughts.
Oh no.
That's right.
We haven't talked about the YCS story already. Which YCS are we talking about now? Oh, you got something in mind or?
No, we usually.
The YCS where we all flopped except for Nisha.
Oh yeah, that's a wonderful one.
Dude,
The
that's
Orcus
technically
format
everyone's yes for me.
The Orcus format that made me depressed. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
That's a good memory for me to revisit.
So yeah, like I said before, before the event, I arrived I think on the Thursday morning. I'm there. I immediately go to their like hotel because I can't check in yet. I sit down against River. I'm playing Pendulum. I get absolutely clapped. I figured out like in Pendulum, if my opponent makes a topologic with IP, there's no way for me to win the game. And I was like,
nobody was doing that.
Nobody did that, so I just killed every Orcus player. Broke their board. It was so easy. Ignister is my go.
I've mentally blocked out all that YCS. It was that damaging to my psyche. The only thing I remember from that YCS was using your Pendulum deck in a winner map and flogging them all.
Yeah.
That's all I remember from that event.
I remember. I think we spent $100 each on food after the event.
Oh yeah, it was beer time. We went to that steakhouse.
Big meat feast time.
Oh god. Yeah, no, that's something I'm looking forward to for next year.
Beers and steaks.
Beers and steaks.
That restaurant that's like up the road from the event is actually pretty base. They're alright. They're not bad.
Is that where we're?
That's the one we went to.
You went there on
Melbourne?
Sydney. It's the one you went to on the Friday night, right? This year.
Well, yeah, that's what we did last time because there was no point hanging around the venue. We'd already submitted our list before 7 o'clock, so we just went and had dinner on Friday night.
Yeah.
And then Sunday night, we all wanted to go to the casino and go to the buffet, but that didn't end very well.
Yeah. Mm.
Rip.
I'm not sure if we're allowed to tell that story just yet.
Let's
I'm not sure if
let's
it's
not.
funny.
I think
Does-
yeah, Veslos didn't. He didn't.
Say we just need to watch our pre-drinks.
That's right.
Yes. For those of us who didn't go to that, I think a bunch of us just went for like burgers at a place nearby. I think with like 20 of the Perth boys there, so that was a good time. All of us were drinking our like raspberry Fanta to honor Caleb.
Well, we wanted the reason we were going to the cast is because they had a buffet, like a buffet restaurant there that was like uber expensive.
Yeah.
And Lindsay and I were very, very keen just to go ham at a buffet and, you know, teach them what all you can eat really means.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
obviously we didn't get there. But I doubt next time we're going, I want that fucking buffet dinner.
Okay.
You know, like I said, you know, I teach you a whole new meaning of all you can eat. I'm there.
I don't know, man.
Not
Last time
ready.
we did that one all-you-can-eat thing, and I think I ate more than all of you, right?
When was this?
This is like it was in Coburn, I think, like mid last year. I will find this place. I'll find it. I am certain. It was like near we went. It was
I
Bidwell's recommendation. It was like
Genuinely,
I will find this. I
genuinely don't know what you're talking about.
Like you two were having a share platter, and you guys couldn't finish it, and I just like kept getting refills of my all-you-can-eat thing.
Is this the ribs place that we went to?
Yeah. That's all you can eat, right?
No, it wasn't all you can eat.
I got the
think
all
they
you can
did.
eat
I think
thing.
at the time, it was like they would keep bringing you a rib plate if you wanted to. That was the play. But River and I each got a rib plate, and then got the share meal on top of that, and we got through it. Well, not all of it, but we got there.
Yeah.
But like, if you want to sit down and you want to compete,
Why I'm so fat.
then
No, I can't
Bring
eat
it
that
on,
much anymore, and I'll be super broke after that unless I top YCS. Even then, I'll probably
If
still be
you-
broke.
If you
I don't
you
think
let me do a whole event without eating, no lunch, no anything, and I do pretty poorly, nobody is beating me under the table.
look, I have to like Nisha. I'm gonna say this once. And I'm gonna say this
Yeah.
one time. If you're with us, you're eating.
Oh.
I don't think you understand. All right.
Just
He-
Josh
he-
pays for it. That's what he's saying.
Okay, bet I will be there
He
no
straight
matter
up
what.
will not let you not eat. He straight up will
That's
not
exactly
let you
right.
not eat.
You
Let's
know,
go.
one time we took Yat out for dinner, and the clown brought a water bottle, like his water bottle, into the restaurant and was drinking water. So like, I just like took his water bottle and like bought him drinks.
Oh, this is a YCS I missed. Yeah.
No, this wasn't YCS.
No, this is after locals.
Oh,
this is
what was
after a
this?
local time.
Okay.
Sounds about
If
right.
you're the homies, we're gonna eat. That's how that rolls. We're gonna eat. Alright? So like, don't stress about
We live
money.
by the rule: if I
yeah.
eat, you eat.
That's
Yeah,
that's
it should be fine. Like I'm both certain I'll be like fine after that. I just need to like sort out things when I'm back.
And we always, let's be realistic, we've always at all points whenever we do food orders, order way too much food. It just every single time we order too much food. You know, there was that one time at YCS where Kayla and I both ordered Uber Eats KFC just to see who would get there first. I beat him
Yeah,
by
they
like
both
half
spent
an
like
hour.
$100. They both spent like $100 on KFC each.
That is
And
that's
then,
foul.
Yeah, they were sitting here racing, see how long we get there first.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's right. And I beat
I'm
him by,
pretty
like,
sure
half an
we didn't eat half of it.
hour. No, we didn't. Most of it went out in the bin.
See,
That
they
is
do
horrible.
they do the opposite of what I do for a YCS. I literally spend the most minimal amount of money I can, so I can still have money for smokes. That's
Yeah.
No, not smokes. Barocca.
Barocca's also really good. Keeps me
I
going.
see.
Do you, since we all have numerous amounts of tops under our belts, is there?
I have one.
I have two.
Numerous. Is there any advice you would give to a player who's maybe going for their first YCS?
First YCS, just
Stay
go have
hydrated.
fun. Like last year, I
Stay
just treated
hydrated.
yeah. But anyway, have fun. Go with homies. I treated it as a Comic-Con when I was there like earlier this year. And I just had a blast. I did horrible in the event, but every like 5 seconds I'm bumping into a friend I haven't seen in a while. I'm just having a good time. Like those things are like amazing because all of you are there to play the game because you love the game, you enjoy that, and like you can easily like connect with all those people. So it's such a good time.
Look, the important, like very true. The important thing is to have fun. At the end of the day, look, obviously we all want to win and we're all very competitive, but we wouldn't play the game if we didn't enjoy it. So the key is to enjoy yourself.
Mm.
A couple of
yes.
tips I would say that people want enjoying themselves is to stay hydrated. Never underestimate how dehydration like works and will screw you up, because when you're 7 rounds deep and you haven't had water in 3 hours, that's a problem. All right, you need to be staying hydrated. We always check if everybody stay hydrated. And the tip 2 that always works is painkillers. I bring painkillers to every event, every single time, because you just, like I said,
it is a basics. What was it? What was the line, Josh? Painkillers are a basic side deck staple.
Panadol is a staple side deck choice because, like I said, people underestimate. They don't, half the time they don't eat because it's too expensive to eat at the venue, and they don't drink because they just don't. They don't think about it. And then when you're 3 hours in, trying to think at max capacity, you don't realize it, and then at that point once you're too dehydrated, it's too late. You're stuffed. So like, drink painkillers, drink water, have a good time.
Michael, any advice?
Nah, nothing that Josh hasn't covered there. Be comfortable what you're playing, I guess. Don't, like, if for example somebody tells you to play X thing, we're not 100% play it, don't play it. Just play what you're comfortable with.
Of the stupid decisions that you make on the day both. Right.
Yeah, don't neck catch Jesse Cotton in the last minute and then blame River when you do wrong, Kalen.
What was he playing for this YCS? No, we're not going to bully Kalen. That'd be too low.
I'll bully Kalen.
Look, I had issues with Kalen's list at this last YCS,
One
but
Python, right?
he got his top, so like, I don't care. He got his top. That's all I needed. You know, he's a beast. That's all I have to say on the matter.
Mm.
This last one we scrambled too much to get our list together because I didn't think we realized when it had to be in until we got to pre-reg. So like, I don't know who got a hold of him. Somebody got a hold of him, and I was testing with Peck. And then by the time we realized it, I didn't realize what went into his list.
One princess, right? One princess.
Yeah, there's something to that effect. There are a few other things as well, but yeah, I mean, look, like Michael said, our lists don't always have to be the same. I think at the end of the day, if you're comfortable with your deck, it'll probably flow better. But yeah, there are a few decisions that I think we need a consensus on. But this is why I like the extra time. This is why I like the extra time the night before, so that we can get everything together, get everybody on the same page, get a few final tweaks in. I don't like to be rushed, you know?
Yeah. I mean, there is like something to say of having like a limited number of people to test with as well, because what you don't want to happen is everyone's playing different decks, and so like information is like very scattered on like, oh, I think Raziel's a really good deck because it can do this, this, and this, and you're sitting there with your other friend, and the other friend is like, no, that's coke, we play this instead, and like, it just wastes time conflicting with each other when you could just be settling which deck is better.
Yeah, so that's why I'm hoping we can like try and take like a statistical approach to that to like justify certain findings. Like, granted, people can still like choose to go for comfort, but having that like that data would be very like useful, I think, in scenarios like that.
My only issue with the statistics is like, what are you measuring for? Are you measuring for a deck consistency? Because like generally the
consistency is irrelevant. Like, I think like
Yeah,
all the decks
but
are hyper consistent. It's more like testing like win rates of decks versus the non-mirror,
Yeah.
seeing how they perform versus each other, and then you can start like documenting like which decks like definitely are a good meta call. Like maybe we find like for example like Kashtira, like the stun version was pretty solid into Snake Eye during the event. Like those cards like trade very well into the hand traps. Like it's
So-
for finding out scenarios like that.
Yeah, so I already have. I'm always going to find an issue with the statistic version of figuring out like the deck, especially into testing, because what you don't want to do is you don't want to have the testing being your a bubble, right? Like where like you find out that for some reason Labyrinth is just the best deck in the format because you found out between 6 people that like Labyrinth is just unbeatable, when like in fact if you sat down and thought about it, like there are just obvious like issues with Labyrinth. So
Well, I
like,
don't think like the data is the end all be all. It's just like a nice thing to like consider and have a
yeah, it's nice to back yourself up with data.
Yeah.
Generally, I just figure it out somehow. I usually just take an approach.
Or you call me just before the event and ask me to do math on like a certain deck.
That's like the specific. That's like the specific. Does this math work out of opening this card? It's not like a deck thing. I think I'm much better at a top-down view of like a format, right? Where like I look at the format and I can tell you, in my opinion, what is probably the best deck, what is the best second deck, and then like what the format is revolving around. Like if the format is revolving around Shifter, a deck that doesn't necessarily win because it resolves Shifter is a lot better than a deck that does rely on Shifter, right? Take for example like Flu versus Kashtira, right? In my opinion, I think Kashtira is the better deck because it doesn't just require Shifter resolve to win most of the interactions, and it would have a pretty good Kashtira. It would have a pretty good Flu matchup. But like when it's a very open format, like what I have a feeling we're heading towards, because I just think there's just a lot of options. It becomes a bit more harder to pick which is the better deck. Like I don't think Mermails is the best deck. It's probably, if there is no ban list and the sets reveal, like the cards revealed are like nothing, it's going to be like Snake Eyes, Rezeal, or Yubel, unless I'm missing something.
Yubel, I don't think it'll be Yubel. Yubel fell hard because of dominance and the Snake Eye cards just being a lot more resilient. Like I don't think like Yubel is like going to be like that strong post rage with this.
Oh, we did actually want to discuss this. Because I'm under the impression that with the ban list, Snake Eyes will probably move away from Fiendsmith to play the Azumina cards, right?
Yeah.
Does that mean that?
I mean, don't they play both in the OTG?
They played both because they have Beatrice still, so it still works. Like without it, like the Fiendsmith isn't as powerful.
I mean, it's still good though, even without Beatrice.
Oh yeah, I think
know
you
it's
still
still
like
good, but
you can still play like one as and use it as like a
Yeah.
Nightmare Mermaid just to like extend through things. But I think
but it's not
Yubel.
an engine.
Yeah, no, Yubel will hella fall off, I believe, after Rage of This comes out. Like the new Dominance card just kills that deck.
It's so interesting that you say that, because like in my mind, generally I pick the deck that has access to the strongest, I guess, engine would be the thing, right? In my mind, the Brazil cards, the cards are really good. Obviously, they're all mathmech circlers, basically, right?
Yeah.
But the one issue that they're all mathmech circlers, right? But the one issue that I have is that like the deck ceiling, it's not as explosive as something like Snake Eyes, where like if Ash resolves, you can perform Cold Fusion. The problem is Ash needs to resolve, right? So like I tend to lean towards whatever's new, but also whatever has the highest ceiling. So like since the Azumina cards come out as well, because I think the Ryzel's a deck building pack, right?
Yes,
so it'll probably
creation
be
pack. It's
because
end of December for us is when we get it.
Yeah, so it'll be whatever can probably use the Azumina cards better. And if the Azumina cards and Snake Eyes aren't that great, then it would be the last strong, consistent engine, which was the Fiendsmith. And from my knowledge, Yubel's the only deck that can really utilize the Fiendsmith engine.
I think Musket deck
Burning
will utilize
Abyss.
a lot better.
Sorry?
Muskets will be able to utilize it a lot better. They don't also suffer heaps with the loss of Beatrice and Lacrima. and the deck is very strong at breaking boards, especially if like Rizal is a top deck. It just automatically gets like folded by Musket.
Oh, I don't want it to be a Rizal format. It's possible.
see.
It's possible that Rizal is just the deck to play, but we do have the Shadow format, the Shadow
Yeah.
main set. So perhaps something comes out.
One day you'll say the correct name of the set.
Yeah, Shadow deck, Shadow thing, Shadow
Supreme Darkness, named after
Yeah,
Supreme
Darkness.
King.
Big Dark Energy.
It'll be interesting because the last two YCSs have been a one deck format, right? We had Tier and then we had Snake Eyes. So like it being an open format, especially with how YCSs for Australia generally are, it's going to be a lot of jank. And if it's an open format, then there's going to be even more jank. But some of those janky decks are going to be like partially okay. Right, like I wouldn't be surprised to verse something like Mermails or verse something like really bad Rizio players or things like that for like 4 rounds.
You're always going to verse Jank. Yeah, it's like a standard rule.
Yeah.
You will always verse random shit within your first 4 rounds. It'll always happen.
The other thing that I have an issue with Rizio, if Rizil is the only deck, then it's the only deck, right? Like if Snake Eyes Ubel, all these other decks just get murdered and it's just Rizil. One issue that does present itself is that Rizil is an XYZ based deck. It doesn't have multitude of different types of extra deck summoning. It locks itself into XYZs, rank 4 specifically. So that means things like D-Barrier or basically these XYZ Encore, I guess, as well, is like another card that probably isn't good enough.
Forbidden Apocrypha. Let's go crazy.
But what I'm talking about is like these specific type of cards that have specific advantage against a specific extra deck mechanic, just become really good against Rizio. So like, if that is the best deck, then board breakers it is. And then you have to rely on hand trap and Rizio.
I prefer to play a breaker format than a hand trap format every single time. Hand trap formats are boring as fuck. They don't, in my mind, they don't. It's like it's the same thing from Snake Eyes format. It's all hand traps. It doesn't invite good gameplay. It doesn't invite good deck building decisions. At least with like a board breaker format, you actually have to give it some thought.
Yeah.
You know, I would 100% prefer to play some variation of a breaker format and then like just build something that cannot be messed with.
I used to love the hand traps, but playing the Unchained Breaker deck during I think Legacy of Destruction, when Snake Eye was still like best of us. Snake Eye still is very strong. When Snake Eye and Tenpai first came out, I was just playing Breaker Unchained and I was just killing everyone. I was breaking every Snake Eye board. That was so much more fun.
It's the best part about Yu-Gi-Oh, right?
Like, yes.
I think that the real gem of Yu-Gi-Oh is like your opponent spends their turn building up a board. You look at your 6 cards and you just slowly and methodically, one by one, just start cracking through it. I think that's like the best Yu-Gi-Oh, and like it requires you to actually think through things, which is why I dislike 1-card combos and I prefer like multitude card combos, which is why I like Momals, because it means that like AS plus Dragoons, for example, right? Like it sets up multitudes of my opponent needs to interact with me or else I'm just getting too much value.
Yeah. Did you see the like speaking of breaking boards, did you see the thing where like in the Master Duel Worlds, Jesse Cotton was going second against Snake Eye Fire King, and through a maxi he decked his opponent out?
One of the only times that maxi deck outs.
Like his opponent was up to like a certain amount of cards, then Cotton activated card destruction. And he just like won. That was so sick. It was beautiful. Yeah.
Did Jesse Cotton play some crystal-based like amalgamation, or was that like not legal?
The Crystal Beast amalgamation was maybe for YCS, is what he said. But Worlds, he was always going to play a real deck. He played it was Tealment as his main deck with Grass, and I can't remember what his second deck was.
I think he mentioned somewhere he was playing Salad.
That might be an old one. I'll try and find it later.
I remember I literally watched a video of his today, and he mentioned that he was playing Salad as his second deck or something like that.
Okay, we can go
Or
with
someone in his team was playing salad.
that. Yeah. Oh, I will
Oh.
find it later and check it out.
I don't think it matters, right? Because Worlds is like a once a year type thing where like after it doesn't really ultimately matter anymore.
Not to mention there's also Master
hella
Duel,
hype.
so
Yeah,
That's
but
an
Master
added
Duel,
bonus.
like we said at the start, 3 of the 4 teams from last year's top 4 made top 4 again. I think it's very
Yeah,
like
it's not-
competitive. Yeah, it's very
It's
good.
not that it's not competitive or skillful. It's just like
Yeah,
Worlds just continues the tradition of only mattering for Worlds, and that's it. There's no other
Yeah.
thing. Like if we had a shared ban list, I'd probably care a little bit more because like then Worlds has to be under a shared ban list. But because it's split, there's no reason to pay attention or care about it after the week because like it has literally no impact on anything. The only impact that it could have is like a super cool tech that comes up like once for like the format that they were in, and that's about it.
Shoutouts to Bowden for activating Lullaby of Obedience in
Lullaby.
2018 and me getting a playset and it being relevant for Snake Eye format. I appreciate you. Anyway, my phone is going to die soon, and that means my camera is going to disappear and muck up a overlay. It's like an hour and a half now. Is there anything else we want to like go into before we like wrap things up?
Yu-Gi-Oh still sucks at the moment. Format's not fun. Rise probably changes very little of that, and I found out that my Mermail combo doesn't work anymore.
Bro, I read that. I was like, oh no, because I didn't check any of the combos. I just assumed you like knew about the mandatory stuff. That was really funny.
No, it wasn't there. It wasn't a mandatory. That doesn't change anything. I was just saying that like it's probably better just to hold the Neptibus effect for like Teos activation, just so you like guarantee the additional body.
Fair enough.
It's
fair
the
enough.
fact that I've been overlaying on XYZ Armor Fortress, and you can't do that because it has that one line just somewhere, like it's hidden,
okay.
but it can't be overlaid on top of. So I've been building my entire idea of this deck over the fact that I can just overlay on top of this rank 5 while it has material. I don't think it matters that much because you can let Virtue detach from it, but I'm just a little bit sad that like I've just been playing it wrong because I just missed one line of text on a XYZ card that I thought I understood.
It is what it is. Anyway, Yu-Gi-Oh!
It's the Josh
fun.
special.
I'm looking forward to like playing a lot more again. It'll be a good time. Man, why'd you have to do that? And I have to edit that out.
No, you don't.
We get to branding.
I mean, fine. Okay, sure. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'll play nice. Off my
Yeah,
wall.
Josh, play nice.
There we go. Anyway, any other closing thoughts or?
No, we'll save the rest for next time.
Next time. What are we going to talk about next time? There's nothing interesting happening.
We'll figure it out when we get there. Anyway, this is
Old stories. Alright.
yeah. For next time, you guys will have like decent cameras, hopefully.
What the fuck do you mean? My camera's been the best. It's
Yeah, no,
literally-
I'm not pointing. Yeah, point at the other side of my
Like-
screen, which is these
like,
two.
Look, I see Harry's who's turned into a flashpoint power graph. Like
Yeah,
halfway
that's when my camera
Michael's-
died.
Michael's been blazing it up in his room. Josh is in TikTok mode, and mine has been consistent FPS the entire time. The only issue is that my like I've got a hack. Like that's the one.
That's fine.
Like you just got to deal with this. This is the main problem of this.
That's fine. I will fix that up. Anyway, this has been. I can use a beauty filter.
Beauty filter.
Yeah.
I'll
Anyway,
fix it for about 30 seconds.
so this has been episode 2 of Shower Thoughts. Please like and subscribe to Team PX3. Check us out on YouTube, Twitter, X, and Facebook. Obviously, this is going to go out there. We're going to do like more content for Yu-Gi-Oh, also like One Piece, Dragon Ball, like all those sort of things. And yeah, just check us out. Please like and subscribe.
How did we end it last time, Josh? What did you say?
Dude.
Bye.
Perfect. That's the ending. Perfect.